This video is for anyone with a higher than average income who is either on Medicare now or will be starting Medicare within the next few years. I will be discussing Medicare's surcharge for people with higher than average incomes. It's called IRMAA. IRMAA stands for Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. This video will go over how IRMAA is calculated, how to appeal the IRMAA if you believe that it was in error or if changes in your life have reduced your income. Lastly, I will review what you can do to avoid the IRMAA surcharge and the financial mistakes people often make that lead to an IRMAA surcharge. This will be good, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Matthew Clausen with MedigapSeminars.org. My company is an independent insurance brokerage specializing in Medicare and retirement needs. We help people with their Medicare decisions in virtually every state of the country. We work with all Medicare supplement plans, and we also work with Medicare Advantage plans. We're licensed in 49 states. Plus, we have Medicare Part D prescription drug plans as well through our very popular PartDshopper.com website. Our services are free to you, the consumer. You don't pay us. We're paid by the insurance company when we help you with your application. What is IRMAA? In Medicare, IRMAA is an acronym for Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. The IRMAA monthly charge is an increased premium charged to higher income earners for their Medicare Part B outpatient and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage. In 2002, the Medicare Modernization Act set up the IRMAA requirements so that those individuals with higher incomes that pay a greater percentage of their full Medicare Part B costs. IRMAA was enacted in 2003 in order to strengthen and extend the life of the Medicare program. The standard premium for Medicare Part B only covers a fraction of the actual cost for the program. For example, the total cost of Medicare Part B in 2021 was $7,575 per person per year. This breaks down to $631.25 per month for each Medicare recipient. That is your full cost for Part B without any government subsidy. However, the standard monthly premium for Medicare Part B in 2022 is just a little over $170 per month. Likely less in 2023. The difference is paid for by taxpayers funded from general revenues. As an aside, the Medicare tax that was deducted from your paycheck each month goes towards Medicare Part A, not the Part B or D associated with IRMAA. According to the Social Security Office, and I'll quote here, Part B beneficiaries usually pay about 25% of the true cost for Part B. The true cost for Part B that IRMAA beneficiaries pay is 35% for Level 1, 50% for Level 2, 65% for Level 3, 80% for Level 4, and 85% for Level 5. End of quote. Thus, even with the highest IRMAA surcharge, the government is still subsidizing the cost for Part B and Part D. Medicare Part B is your outpatient Medicare coverage. The primary foundations of the federal Medicare program are Medicare Part A and Medicare Part B. The Part A is paid for from the Medicare deductions out of your paycheck, as I mentioned earlier, during your working years. Medicare Part B and Part D have monthly premiums that you must pay for insurance coverage. The standard Medicare Part B premium is paid by everyone. Your Part D premium can vary by your choice of Medicare Part D plan. When you are applying for your Medicare Part B or Part D, the IRS will look at your income as of 2 years ago. Actually, I think it's the Social Security Office, but they'll look at your income as of 2 years ago and make an IRMAA determination. If your annual income is reported on your IRS tax return as high enough, your Medicare premiums will be adjusted higher using the IRMAA determination. You'll pay a higher Medicare premium. This includes your Medicare Part B premium and your Part D premium. Now, it may be confusing, but your first Medicare premium bill from the government does not typically include the amount due from your initial IRMAA determination. The income-related monthly adjustment amount is typically added to your monthly premiums a few months later. This is because it takes the Social Security Administration extra time to determine if your modified adjusted gross income is high enough to impact your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums. How is IRMAA calculated? The Center for Medicare Medicaid Services, CMS, and Social Security determine a Medicare beneficiary's eligibility for IRMAA payments by calculating your annual modified adjusted gross income, called your MAGI. This is simply your adjusted gross income from your tax return with some deductions added back to your income. Now, the MAGI used is as of 2 years ago. In other words, the government recalculates your MAGI on a rolling 2-year look back. Your 2023 income, for example, we determine your IRMAA surcharge for 2025. Some of the deductions added back to your income to determine your MAGI include the non-taxable Social Security payments, IRA contributions, any passive income or loss, and of course deductions for tuitions and fees, etc. Basically, most of your tax deductions. Your MAGI is then matched with your tax filing status and income levels in this table that I'm showing here to determine the amount due. For 2022, the Part B premium ranges from $170.10 per month, which is the standard, to a high of $578.30 a month for those in the highest income bracket for IRMAA. This table can always be found on my website under the Resources tab. It's also linked below. It's important to stress that your IRMAA status can change each calendar year. This may be due to a change in your income and/or a change in the income table. In fact, legislation that was enacted just in 2020 linked this IRMAA table in the IRMAA income brackets to the Consumer Price Index. This is good news for the consumer because it can reduce the impact of rising incomes due to higher inflation. As inflation increases, so will the income hurdle that has to be met to be subject to an IRMAA surcharge. And we're often asked, can I avoid an IRMAA surcharge with a Medicare Advantage plan? The short answer is no. IRMAA surcharges are based on your income and will be assessed regardless of how you get your Medicare. IRMAA charges for both Medicare Part B and Part D will be charged even if you get a Medicare Advantage plan. Next, I'm going to talk about how you can appeal an IRMAA surcharge and the specific reasons that Medicare recognizes for an appeal. Then I will cover what actions people take that impact their income, their tax decisions, that can lead to an unexpected IRMAA surcharge. But before I do, I would like to ask you to please press the like button below if you're watching this on YouTube, and please let me know in the comments if you find this information helpful. When you like, comment, or share this video, you're helping me by letting YouTube know this is a video worth watching. And that way other people just like you who are also have questions about the IRMAA surcharge can find this video. So thank you in advance for doing so. How do you appeal an IRMAA surcharge? If it's determined that you should pay an IRMAA surcharge, you'll receive an initial determination notice from Social Security. The notice will include information on how to request a new initial determination. You'll want to appeal the IRMAA decision if you believe that it was incorrect. For example, if you had corrected or amended a previous tax return resulting in a lower reported income. And also, there are certain life-changing events that will be considered in reevaluating your IRMAA status. Social Security will consider these life-changing events when re-examining your IRMAA status. So they consider the death of a spouse, marriage, divorce or annulment, or if you or your spouse stopped working or reduced your hours worked. That happens a lot in retirement. If you have a loss of a pension or an involuntary loss of income-producing property, if your rental property burns down, or of course a receipt of a settlement payment from a former or current employer due to the closure or a bankruptcy. To request a new determination, you'll have to use Form SSA-44, Medicare IRMAA Life-Changing Event, or schedule an appointment at your Social Security office. Next is how to avoid an IRMAA surcharge. Of course, appealing the IRMAA surcharge is something that you can do after the fact. We encourage our clients to, where possible, avoid IRMAA surcharges in the first place. How can you avoid an IRMAA surcharge? Well, step one is plan ahead. Now that you know the IRMAA calculation uses your income as of 2 years ago, avoid actions that will influence your income up to 2 years prior to starting Medicare. For example, we often come across people who have sold a home and downsized to prepare for retirement. That downsizing can result in a capital gain that catapults your income into an IRMAA status. If you plan to downsize, do it early, downsizing before the 2-year window prior to starting Medicare. And be careful with Roth conversions, because the prevailing belief right now is that tax rates will increase in the future, and many people are converting their traditional IRAs to Roth IRAs. The benefit would be to pay the current tax on the distribution now so as not to pay a higher tax rate later. When making that calculation, consider the impact on your Part B premium. You can accidentally push your Part B premium from $170 a month to nearly $600 a month. And of course, if you're reaching the age of having to take required minimum distributions from your IRA, so if you're close to the next higher tax bracket for IRMAA costs, look at the impact of your RMDs, your required minimum distributions. If an RMD will push you into a higher bracket for IRMAA, you can use charitable contributions to lower your income. If you don't need the income from your RMD, your philanthropy can benefit you as well as your favorite charity. And of course, consider the tax-advantaged income of annuities and life insurance. Instead of automatically taking taxable income from deferred income accounts, you can structure your portfolio towards a guaranteed tax-advantaged income. The result will be a more secure income, a paycheck for life, lower taxes, and possible IRMAA savings. Lastly, IRMAA surcharges are a frustrating but necessary feature of Medicare. Even with the surcharges, in even the highest levels of income, the consumer is sharing the cost of Medicare with the U.S. government. IRMAA surcharges help keep the Medicare program active and extend its life expectancy. With planning, you may be able to avoid the IRMAA surcharge or reduce it. Medicare does not intend to charge an IRMAA charge to those who can't afford it. As such, there is an appeals process to reduce or eliminate the IRMAA surcharge if life-changing events have impacted your income. Now it's your turn. I make these videos for you, to help you make an informed decision. Please leave me a comment below and a thumbs up and let me know what part of this video that you found most informative. And if you have a question that I didn't answer, ask below and I'll do my best to respond. By the way, I'd like to know if anyone here is surprised at how much Part B actually costs, the total cost, not just your premium. I hope you found this information helpful, so please like this video, press the thumbs up for me if you found it useful, and share it with others so that they too know what to do with their Medicare. I'm Matthew Clausen with MedigapSeminars.org. Thank you for watching.